Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue and I'm from OML Embroidery, and today we're going to play with our words. Actually, we're going to play with letters. Instead of having boring, plain lettering like this, you can do a few easy things to dress it up. Now we're going to do fun stuff. And next week, we're going to do more ligatures and swirls and make plain lettering like this, the red Sue, into something fun. To start off, I am in PEP software, Perfect Embroidery Pro, the software from Dime. However, don't worry, you could do any of this in any digitizing software. So it has to be digitizing Hatch and Brilliance, anything that you guys want. Embird, you just have to find the tools that I'm using, and it's not going to be very difficult. It's basic ones. You'll be surprised at what you can do. No matter what software you are using, the first thing you have to do is break up the lettering. Now, why is that? Well, the lettering now is in one piece, and you can see right here the big T means, and it'll be in any software, maybe not necessarily a T, but you'll be able to see that it is lettering. It's all in one, and when you do anything to it, it goes all in one, and we want to add stuff to it. So what we need to do is a break apart. That's what they call it in Hatch. In this, I just right clicked and break up text. That's what we want. Now I click it once and it groups everything over here. So now we have our letters separate, so we can move them around, we can make them bigger or smaller. Always make sure when you're playing around with letters, make sure before you do the break apart, so we can go back with a little bit of undoing here, and I'm looking for that T again, right? We've broken apart. There you go. So when I click on it, I see the information that comes up. Now look at this. I just hover over. Part of it's gone off, but down at the bottom of this pop-up, it tells you the size that you should be doing. So once you take off the coding for the lettering part and it just becomes satin stitches, you're not going to get this information. So make sure you're not making things too small or too big. Either way, it's a problem. So let's do that again. Right click, break up text, and that breaks us up into lettering, just the letters, the S, the U, the E. We can see that it's separate. But if you wanted to do a little more, all you have to do at this point is ungroup it. And that will run satin, satin. That's how it does it. So if you wanted to replace this part, you can do that. It's no problem. Or if you wanted to edit it and make it a little bit bigger, I mean, it'd take a few minutes, but watch the angle lines for sure. But you can do that, and you can change how it looks. There, I finally grabbed a node. I was kind of missing everything there. So if you wanted to do something like this, say you just want this part thicker, that's how you do it. So it's one break apart and then ungroup. And see, I just made that modification. I didn't even have to move to do it. And I want to put it, this part stuck up a little bit there, that make sure the travel line is well inside it. And there we go, a little bit different. I could adjust it a little bit better. But if you wanted to, say, extend this part of the U to, make it prettier or whatever, you can do that. And if the way you want it, if that running stitch underneath is showing and you don't like it, guess what you do? just delete it. That's okay. You'll have to make better connections, but if it's a problem, just get rid of it. The letters are yours. You can do what you want with it. So, I mean, that doesn't look the greatest, but you see what I'm getting at. So let's do that one more time. I've got the letter Sue, and they are grouped. So when I click on it, no text information came up. So it is already broken apart. So therefore, on this one, I can't, even though they're grouped, so they're all selecting together, it's almost the same. I can't apply any of the text coding to it or the text bennett. Like I can't change the font, I can't do anything like that. It is basically just satin stitches with really cool connections. So that's the first thing to start. So take a moment in your software and find the lettering and find the break apart lettering. And once you do that and break it down to its basic pieces, we can get started on some design. So I thought it would be fun to do something, silly or fun to start off the new year. So this is my first Sudoodle here, which is kind of fun. Of course, we know we have to have googly eyes, and these are just balloons. So, I mean, it's easy to do. It's easier than you think. I use shapes. This is one of the reasons why I love PEP, and it's simple to do. So I clicked on it, and it says here standard satin. So I've already broken it apart, so I don't have to worry about it. Pretty sure I just copied and pasted there. Let's change the color. Let's do like a green so it stands out. Now, the next thing we're going to do is ungroup, and we should have all the pieces. You can see over here, I always have this going on so I can see everything that I know now that this is the path it takes. So it's going to stitch out satin stitches, and this is a travel connection running stitch. You can actually learn a lot from breaking apart lettering. Great connections. And then it goes to here, and then we're going to start on the U, and yeah, it's wonderful. So let's zoom in a little bit, and I'll show you how I did this. Now, I did play around a little bit, and I thought it was really cute. So I just basically take my running stitch, and this is just going to be just a first draft to see what I want to do. Do I want a swirl there? We can adjust it afterwards. Do we want that kind of thing? Do we want little extra flowers or something? That's how I do it. Now for this one, it's pretty basic. So I am going to grab that. And this time I think I'll put the balloon here. And I started off with it straight, but I do want a little curve in here. So I'm going to hold down the control key in this software, hatch, and quite a few of the other ones, you right click. So I'm just adding a curved point, and we're going to add that. Now you can absolutely leave it like this. That is just fine, but I like to play around with stuff. So you could do a 2-ply or a back stitch, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Might as well get it nice and close. So that's a back stitch. I have my 3D on so you guys can see it. Click on it again, it comes up. A bean stitch? Yeah, definitely. That would look good. I really like it. And you can put it on random too, and that kind of balances it out a little bit. Of course, motifs. I mean, that is a no-brainer. Okay, not that one, but any motif that you like, if it makes you happy, then stitch it. That's what I say. Symbols, that would be fun as well. So you can just add, these are symbols, and they're basically just mini designs that you can use. So if you don't feel like, you know, digitizing an ant, now we have ants. And you don't have to put them like this if you're like, oh, I really like the ants. Let's go to our node mode, as I call it, and let's just move some nodes. And let's straighten out. This is called the Bezier curve. So you grab one of these handles and you just move it and then click apply. So if that is, you know, on a picnic blanket or something, really cute to just add little things like that. But for now, let's go back. Bye, ants. You're cute. There we go. No motif. Triple stitch. So make sure you have your pointer cursor back. And what I did is triple rope, because I like how it looked like that. I thought it maybe looked a little bit like ribbon. That's only in PEP, but your software will have tons of things. Remember too, we need to keep stuff in order, and we want to make sure there's no huge jump stitches going on. All these lines here are just going over to some other ones that I was playing with, so we don't need to worry about that. And this is going in right at the end of it, so that's why. Now, I thought it looked like a balloon. And you don't have to just do one, and you don't have to do a heart-shaped balloon. You can do any size that you want. I thought heart was fun. Spiral works anytime. I love spirals. That's so much fun. Diamond, why not? Star, rounded. Or you can add different shapes together. Remember, we did this in the long series where we were making whole entire designs out of it. You can add them and make your own. But for now, let's just do a heart. You can see that the icon changed, and you can see that there's a heart there, which is kind of cool. So you can constrain it with control. Most software has the same thing, just to keep it looking good. I am just gonna make it my own. So let go, and I'm gonna go back to the pointer. Now, right now, this is not embroidery. So how can I tell that? I think Embrilliance does it this way too, and it's really nice. It is just an outline. So if you want to make yourself a template, this is how to do it. But it's not stitched. It says right up here, outline, and right here it says artwork. So it is not stitched. So let's convert this artwork to, you can do anything you want. Let's just do a complex fill for right now. And that looks good. I'm going to turn the 3D on because it's easier for you guys to see. Right up here is to change the angle. I love this. It's so easy. I got a nice little bend in it. Just get it how you want. I mean, that is easy enough. If you want to make it fancy, here's a good trick that I always use. You can copy, so Control C and Control V, so copy and paste. I usually use the shortcuts on my Cintiq, but I'm using a mouse today. And then convert that to, let's see, one of my favorite things, we can convert it to, what can we do? Run? Yeah, we can convert it to a run. Or maybe let's go back on that and get the second layer there. Pull them apart if you get mixed up like this, and we can always put it back together again, like Humpty Dumpty. So I'm going to put the green one here. It's okay if you get mixed up a little bit. I do it all the time. Doesn't matter. Let's do motif. I keep forgetting to hit apply. That's why. Now, if you get something like this, that just really means that it's small. So you need to pick a really small design. Even like this is too small. We can't do that. So small motifs, no. Let's see if we can make it a bit smaller. I wouldn't go too small though. I mean, that's cute on top. Let's put it on top. It's not quite complete, but it gives it a really groovy effect. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. So that was a happy accident. And then I thought I would do another one. So the other thing, make sure when you're designing like this that you put everything in the proper order. We want it all to connect. We do not want jump stitches and connections going all crazy. So at the end, when this is stitching, we want it to come over and up, and then the same color, it's going to stitch out the heart, and we're still going to do the same color, so we don't want to do the yellow. We don't want to have a whole bunch of changes. So let's go and let's see, the U, we decided stitches out this and this. Okay, so before this part stitches out, now I have it highlighted, and you can see it over here that that's what it is. So this is, we want to insert it before that. So we're going to do the same thing. Let's go to our running stitch, and we're going to do another balloon. I just hit backspace for that. It wasn't quite off. And hit enter to set everything up. And then we are going to change it to, let's try triple rope. I like that one. Aren't they pretty when they're close up? This is part of the My Lace Maker, and I use My Lace Maker all the time. I love it. So maybe we want to adjust it a little bit. Maybe like that would be cute. And let's see, what can we do? What shape? So let's pick a shape. We can do anything that we want. I don't think a square balloon would be too cool. I like the star, so let's do that again. So you can see my cursor change to the star. Let's go right here, and again it comes in as just a, we're getting a little close to up there, but that's okay, just an outline, and it's not going to stitch. It says outline up here, and it says artwork down here. So let's convert that into complex fill, and that's looking pretty good. Now, if you want to put designs on top of it, you can, or you can go into different software. It'll be somewhere, but it's called an outline. And I want it right on the edge because I like living on the edge. No, not really. And then we're going to change the color to that bright yellow. And again, look, it's an outline. So we are going to convert it to run, and then we're going to pick what we want. Now, we're not going to do any of the fancy things, but we could do a nice bean stitch. And you can see, isn't that cool? Now if we take the 3D off, that's what it looks like. You can see all the underlay. So the only thing we have left on this is to put everything in the right order. So that is a super fun way just to make the lettering your own. I did put eyes on the top, but you know what? If I put another balloon, let's do the heart one. You can always change it up depending on who you're doing it for. So I'm holding down the control key. So I just selected the green, and I'm going to control C copy and control V paste and put it like here for the S. And then, or maybe over a little bit. So I'm gonna select control, and what I'm going to do is group it just so I can have fun with it. And it could even be like this if you wanted it. So you could play around with it. I guess I'm getting a bit thrown, so I'm so close to that. This is okay. I think it looks great. So that makes 3 letters look really happy. So I was playing around a little bit and I came up with something like this, because if you didn't know with your creativity, you do not have to keep the same font. So I wanted a big fancy S, and I didn't break it apart so you can see what it is, Raven script. And then the other ones here, which are hard to grab, I have broken them apart, I think. I can't remember. Okay, so everything's in the wrong order because I have so many things on here. So yes, I did break them apart. I have not broken the S apart, and I don't need to for this one. So this background is just a shape, and what I did is I just played around with the different options that you have. Play in your software. It's awesome. See, that looks good too. And I think this one, if you go in, oh, start and stop, that's cool. Right there. Nice, nice. You can make it, I just moved the center of it if you didn't see me do that, sorry. But you could put different shapes in it. So the outside of it is always going to be a flower, but you can add different shapes in the inside. And you see, you get a totally different look on it. Shield shape on the inside. Well, look at that. I didn't expect that. I like it. I like it. Let's try like a cross sort of thing. Now that looks a little bit dense, so you can play around with the density. There is no magic number for it. You just have to pick it. And look, like, if you're looking at this, it looks terrible. I just picked a random one that I created for a different design. And you can tell that this is pretty darn thick, and you really don't want to stitch it. So pick something else. How about a star? That's nice. Now that also looks a bit thick, so let's move it up to 2.5 and see that maybe we want to see the star a little bit. See, it's not too bad now. I like that. Kind of lacy, maybe. Now, if you have my lace maker, you can add some lace to it, or you can make it into a lace grid. And just like that, there you go. It's beautiful. It stitches out nicely, and you don't have to worry about density and spacing and stuff like that. Then if you wanted to change the outside, you could. Again, I just did the outline thing just to give it definition. I find sometimes when you are using, say, a motif, for example, let's just apply the first one, that it doesn't really, look at the edges here. I'm just moving it out. I am going to do an undo in a minute. But you see, these ones are lovely, but these ones, it's not really good. So you can copy and paste and change it, or you can use one of your utilities and make an outline. So whatever works. But see how that changes everything? And actually that's kind of cute like that. So if you were just sewing that onto a shirt or a towel or anything, it would be super cute. So what we're going to do next week is we're going to do something fancy like this. So we're going to do basically illuminated lettering. I love fonts. I'm a very fonty person, and this is a lot easier than it looks to do this. Now, this is a built-in font called Taj Mahal with the Perfect Embroidery Pro Software, and that is just delightful. You do have to be mindful of size. If you want to know your whatever fonts you have in this software, you just click on the lettering and look through it. And it's really nice because you can actually see them. And I have, I think, most of the modules. And so I have a whole bunch of different fonts. Look at these monogram fonts. You really don't have to do anything when you grab a font like that. But these would be great for beginning letters, like the S that I changed. I think it would be cool. But look, so much variety on that. And this is the font. I didn't do a break apart, but you can, if you wanted to change some of these symbols or change the middle part, you can easily do that. And it's just a fancy outline, but you could outline the whole letter. And I like this is a nice touch around it, and then designs in. So we're going to be working with this. I'm going to show you how to modify it, and I'm going to show you how to make your own. That's even better. So join me next week, next Wednesday, and we will be talking more about fonts. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys will play with your fonts. Make sure you post it in the OML Embroidery University Facebook group and show me what you got, because it can be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.